4-piece Itoh hybrid peony plant, and we're offering this at $49 in a choice of a couple of different colors. Do we have all of them still?
I think we still do.
So let's go through the colors. I want to reintroduce Devin, who is, again, a horticulturalist who is here and part of the family. That this is their business. This is what they've been doing, and they've been doing it for us for 27 years. So let's start with the colors that we're going to get. And then
we were just looking at that yellow.
Yes.
And now here we're seeing the pink. And later we'll see the red.
Right.
But what is so special about all of these plants? They are hybrid peonies. So, so many of it. Oh, and here's the final color.
There's the red, okay.
The red. But what's the story about the Itoh hybrid peony? Why is this such a special plant? Well, we all love peonies. It's one of the most beloved plants in the garden. But if you've ever grown a peony before, we love them for their large, luscious, fragrant flowers. But just as they're getting bigger and bolder and they're about to open, you'll come out to your garden one day, and you're right, Jane, they'll just be flopped on the ground and just
yeah, exactly.
And it's a hot mess. If you didn't stake it, if you didn't cage it, if you're not, if you're not on top of it, those garden peonies, they just look terrible. Well, a man by the name of Mr. Itoh, he set out his entire life to fix that problem. So what he did, Jane, he took that garden peony and he crossed it with the rare Japanese tree peony. And the result is a peony that has those large, fluffy, fragrant flowers that we love and adore. But thanks to that rare Japanese tree peony parentage, the plants have strong woody bases. And that's what allows those plants to stay upright all spring long, no matter the size of the flowers, no matter the rain or wind. They're never going to flop over, and you never need to stake them or cage them. This is the money shot. This is what it's all about.
And this is what it's going to look like. It's going to come in a 1-gallon pot. It's already actively growing, and it's a big plant when you get this.
Big honking plant,
yeah.
We've been growing them for 2 years, so you're going to get flowers the first season. If you've ever grown peonies before and you started with those bare roots take 3 years to flower. We said we don't want you guys to wait 3 years, so we planted those 2 years ago, so you're going to get flowers this very first season.
Great. So now talk to us about the best location. This is this a sun-loving?
This is going to love a full day of sun. If you live in the South, give it a half day of sun. But they're real, true heirlooms in the garden. They will easily grow for 50 to 100 years. The peonies are one of the longest lived perennials in the garden. So choose a place in the garden that you really love and adore. But the best thing to do is to plant a few of them, because they look, there's nothing like a peony garden. Get a few of them. The plants that get about 3 feet tall and wide. But look at those gorgeous flowers.
So if you're going to do a peony garden, you're going to want to space them out about 3 feet
apart. Exactly. Now, Jane, when these plants meet their full maturity, by probably their 3rd season in your garden, you can expect up to 50 flowers in your garden.
Wow.
And they have that fluff. They're 8 to 10 inches. They're fluffy. They're fragrant. The yellow has those kind of like streaks of red in the middle. The pink actually does as well. That's here in our garden in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Look at that. And I know this would be one that I would really enjoy painting, because the petals have such personality. Each one of them is, and even in the red, has some variation in color. When you look at the pink, look at that graduation as you get to the center with the yellow, and just a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. And then of course the foliage itself, it's a multi-leaf leaf.
Exactly.
I don't know what you call that.
It's like a compound leaf with
Thank you.
lovely lobes. It's different than a garden peony. Garden peony foliage, in the summertime, it kind of melts away. The foliage on these plants don't go away in the summertime, and in fact in the autumn they will turn mahogany along with our trees. But what I love about these plants, I know it seems like maybe it's a high price, $49 for a plant, but I gotta say, this is probably the very best value of any collection we have all year long. If you were to look online, here we can see all the colors next to each other. They look gorgeous. Consider, get all 3 of them.
And they are fragrant, so that's the other cool thing, that you're going to add that beautiful, sweet fragrance with your gardening. So again, there are a lot of horticulturalists, gardeners out there that make it their life passion to help to, further a particular species.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what has happened
That's
with
what's so
this.
special
That's
about
what
this.
Itoh has done.
Exactly.
He has created a better peony. It's a hybrid. It's going to have big, juicy, beautiful peonies, but then it's on a really sturdy body.
Exactly, and that's what this peony is all about. But I was saying, if you could search online for Itoh peonies, you will never find a 1-gallon pot like we have for this value. Generally, you'll find just them offered as a bare root. And those bare roots are gonna be $60, $70, $80 or more and take 3 years to bloom.
Right.
You get this big, hefty plant, which you can already see it has that strong woody base.
And when is this going in the ground for most of us?
Well, we will be shipping, you're reserving your plants now. We ship when your zone opens up, which will be mid-April, May, around then.
So there's some folks that are gonna be looking at a,
Absolutely. So it's truly a fantastic plant for it's a family heirloom in the garden. And I do recommend get a bag of our time release fertilizer. This is going to give your plant all of the extra nutrients that it really needs to thrive. But the fact of the matter is, having that tree peony parentage in it, it's going to stay upright in your garden. You never have to give it stakes or cages. It's always going to look gorgeous.
And 67202 is your item number. Continue in the process of placing your order for those.